Icy Strait Point is Alaskan Native owned and operated, with all profits directly supporting the community of Hoonah, Alaska's largest native Tlingit village. Originally, it was built as a salmon canning factory. It's low tide. This is what we get to go on. We chose this spot to do a whale watch, hoping to see orcas. Of course, we've been on whale watches in Massachusetts and seen many humpbacks. We did see them in Icy Strait, but none of them actually breached. We mostly saw their spouts and a tail here and there. It was fun being on such a small boat. Low-hanging clouds. Usually it comes up after that. There he is. There are 3 sources of water that come together here. Water from the strait, water from the ocean, and fresh water from the glaciers. The water seems to pop up in a random fashion rather than waves. Oh, there he is. Woo! Out there, there he is, there he is.
There's the tail, there's the tail.
Oh! Come back up. There he is.
Now he looks like he's
Woo! Oh!
right behind him.
Are we gonna get a tail?
But there's like a little.
We had lunch at the Crab House. The atmosphere was just what you'd expect a seaside seafood restaurant to be, and the food was delicious.
Did you get the snow crab?
This is halibut chowder, and I got snow crab. Roger got Dungeness crab. Roger, how's your crab?
Very good. We're gonna be here for a while.
That's okay. I have the halibut chowder. Looks really good. It's thick, it has a lot of flavor. It's really good. Afterward, We explored the old canning factory, which had been restored to house shops and a canning museum. Yay!
When they got away.
Bad. We took a ride on the mountaintop gondola for breathtaking views. Okay, we're taking the gondola to the top of the mountain. Oh, look at that! Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. It almost goes straight up. Yeah, I can see both of them. Reward for the scary gondola ride. There was a food truck there selling reindeer dogs, so we just had to try one. I kind of messed it up, but this is a reindeer dog. How's the reindeer dog?
Very good. I'm eating Rudolph. He won't be coming for Christmas.
Oh, boo. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's gorgeous.
No, that's our ship up there.
Day 5 of our Alaskan cruise was spent in the city of Sitka. I think this was my favorite city, and you're about to learn why. Sitka was controlled by Russia for many years, and you can clearly see their influence through the architecture.
Fjord.
A fjord.
Yeah.
Fjord. That's
So
what that is?
that's what this is up here on the right.
Gotcha.
So these are the fjords of Sitka.
Okay.
And so the salmon run into the bay, they'll run up that fjord, and at the end of the fjord is a waterfall. And that waterfall is where the salmon, king salmon, go to spawn. But at low tide, because we get the 20 foot tide variations, they can't make the first jump. So they'll circle at the base of the waterfall until high tide. And that's when you can catch them.
We took a bus tour for the first part of the day, starting with the Alaskan Raptor Center. They rehabilitate injured birds, mostly raptors, like eagles. Most are released, but those that are not releasable live on the premises and serve as an educational tool.
An eagle's eyes takes in information straight and at 15 degrees at the same time. So they've got two eyes, but they've got 4 pieces of information, so they've got 2 focal points. So they can focus on the air and the water at the same time. So that look on their face that they say, I am smiling, that's the look you get when you're concentrating on 2 things at the same time.
The Fortress of the Bear is an educational sanctuary providing lifelong protection and enriching care to bears orphaned as cubs. There's no bear rehabilitation facility in Alaska. So, when a mother bear dies, the orphan cubs are euthanized because there's no one to care for them. That is, until this facility opened in 2007. They take care of these animals until they pass away, or occasionally get sent to other facilities, such as zoos. They hope to someday become a rehabilitation facility as well. There were 3 brown bears and 3 black bears in residence when we visited.
Let's just stretch it.
They were brought here as cubs and they'll be here for the rest of their life. This is a bear rescue where their mothers were problem bears and had to be euthanized, either breaking into fishing cabins or maybe eating a bunch of trash and getting fully impacted with plastic and have to be put to sleep. So they were brought here as cubs and they'll remain here for the rest of their life. Alaska state law prevents a bear from being in human captivity and then being released back into the wild. And the reason that is because these bears get accustomed to the food coming over a fence, and they would look for another fence for that food to be coming over. If they couldn't find that, they'd probably go over your fence and get your dog or your cat or maybe your freezer. They can smell food up to 4 miles away. And if you think that you're going to outrun a bear, you might want to think again. They are able to reach speeds up to 40 miles an hour.
The Sitka National Historic Park is the site of a battle between invading Russian traders and indigenous Kiksati Tlingit. The museum celebrates totem poles and chronicles the lives of the indigenous people and their fight to preserve their land. Trails on the property are lined with totem poles. We took a short walk down one of the trails to find salmon swimming upstream from the ocean. And these are pinks?
Pinks and chums. The chums are cool.
Swim upstream.
After the tour, I found two friends to explore downtown Sitka with me. We went inside what once was the bishop's house and is now a beautiful art gallery.
7, 8. See, we didn't see. All right, ready?
Next was the Russian orphanage, now a museum. We had a great lunch at the Mean Queen. Then we walked up and down the street, admiring the many local art shops, restaurants, and clothing stores. There was even a store devoted to the Russian nesting dolls, which were beautiful. We had a peek into Ernie's old-time saloon.
Go for it, my friend. She's the good one. I like it. Farts. There it is, right there.
Yeah, that's what
he was talking about, right?
Yeah. Then we toured St. Michael's Orthodox Cathedral. What a beautiful building. There were no pews because the congregation stands during the services. Hello.
Go ahead, I was just...
Back on the ship, I never got a chance to try the famous duck fart shot, so I got one on board just to see what all the fuss was about. I'm having a duck farts drink. It's famous up here, so I couldn't leave Alaska without having one. And it's Kahlua and Bailey's and Crown Royale. Mind you, I don't drink very much. That's really good. It's kind of a sweet drink, which is what I like. Cheers!
Cheers.
We are coming into Skagway. We're in a pretty narrow passageway. It's supposed to be a beautiful day again. This is downtown Skagway. Many of the old buildings still stand, including the Red Onion Saloon and a train station that also houses coffee and souvenir shops. We booked a trip that took us over the Canadian border to the Yukon Suspension Bridge with a history of Skagway and lots of beautiful scenery along the way.
It's a pretty interesting place. I mean, what kind of town has a building that's got over 8,000 pieces of driftwood on it? I love this one. Yeah. The Arctic Brotherhood. It was an old fraternal order here in town. And if you wanted to join it, all you had to do is one very simple thing. You had to climb to the top of this giant old mountain here on the left. It's over 5,500 feet tall. If you could get to the top, there's an old stone tablet on it. A little message was engraved. You'd memorize it, walk into the AV hall and recite it, and they'd let you join just like that.
Wow.
All of these buildings here, they're all originals. Even though most of them are jewelry stores nowadays, they're all made from 1897 to 1899. It's pretty exceptional. But it's kind of strange because hardly any of them are actually in their original locations. You see, in 1902, they decided to move them all around just kind of for fun. And this was an awful process. They broke more than half of them doing so. So they were rolling them on logs or carrying them, getting tired of dropping them. It's just a mess. But one of them actually did go pretty smooth. They set it down and it was just perfect. And it was our Red Onion Saloon, the brothel of all things, went off without a hitch. And they set it down, started looking at it, and realized they hadn't messed up this much yet. So they set the whole building down completely backwards. It was facing the wrong direction. I don't know how you messed that up, but they did. So instead of, working harder, they worked smarter. And they cut the front end off, and they cut the back end off, and just switched the faces out. If you go in there to get a drink or a bite to eat or something, you can, still see where they cut the whole thing up.
Oh my
This
gosh.
very unspectacular gray one here in the corner, Alaskan Power and Telephone, this used to be a lumber mill. And this lumber mill was built by Captain James William Moore. Now, he was the first man to settle Skagway. He arrived here in 1886. And when he did, he built that little cabin there on the right.
Oh.
It's the oldest building here in town, and it's about 100 feet from where it originally stood. Now, he and his son, Ben, they actually shared this cabin for over a decade. And then his son made the much bigger and nicer house there on the right, the one with the blue paint and green trim. I'm sure you've seen the bizarre amount of jewelry stores these little Alaskan farms have. Yeah, it's a head scratcher for sure. And Skagway's not exempt. We have 23 ourselves. But the original, the first one, is here on the right. Kermsey's Curiosos with all the totem poles. And it's one of the few buildings that's still in its original location. Now, Kermsey, this guy, he came here from Germany, 1897, and he was a watchmaker. And to advertise that he was in business, what he did was he climbed up this mountain here and he painted that giant clock on the rocks. I'm sure some of you have noticed it walking through town, the Kermsey's cross next to it.
Oh.
And that was just kind of like a billboard of sorts, letting people know where he could get their pocket watches, And there's a whole bunch of other paintings up there, but nowadays the National Historic Park only really repaints that one. We haven't lost that bit of history because of it. And this red building here is home to the Days of 98 show. It's the longest running play in America that's not on Broadway Street, 126 years consecutive. And to advertise that they're going to have a show, the women, they dress up in their, in period costumes, and they'll dangle their legs out of that second story window, and it causes quite a scene just in the streets. Pitchfork Falls are actually the second longest in all of Southeast Alaska. They're about 3,400 feet from top to bottom, and towards the bottom they actually split off into two separate passages, giving it its name, Pitchfork Falls. It's quite incredible.
There's a lack of trees on these mountains.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But that valley down there, that ravine, that gorge, that is what we call the Dead Horse Gulch. This is called the Tormented Pass, the Tormented Valley. It didn't get this name for nothing. See, the average annual snowfall in this section of the road in the valley we are about to enter is 45 feet throughout the winter. Yeah, that's a massive difference right there. The highest that's ever been recorded was 73 feet. I mean, that is 7 stories of snow. That is unbelievable. Temperatures that can be 20, 40 degrees below zero. Winds that can reach up to 70 miles an hour. Then you combine that with our lack of daylight. Suddenly, these trees begin to make a little more sense. Out here because there's no real vegetation for them. so there's no wolves hunting them. There's no rivers full of salmon or berries, so there's no bears up here. This is a very, very desolate area. Now, we will drive throughout the extent of the valley and enter into the boreal forest, so we do have a chance to see some of those things. And every waterfall and stream and river that we've seen today is just melting ice. All the little lakes and ponds and pools out here is just melting snow and ice.
Oh, look at that. We're at the Yukon Suspension Bridge. There it is. Okay, this bridge is moving. I overcame my fear of heights to walk over the bridge, clinging to the chain link fence on either side all the way. See Roger waving? I just did that. Say hi.
Hey!
Upon our return, we just had to get lunch at the Red Onion. The fun we had was even better than the food, and that was very tasty. We're at the Red Onion Saloon in Skagway, and they have a reindeer fart. It's a shot.
Yeah!
Yeah, and it's peppermint shots.
It is delicious.
Schnapps. Okay, it's delicious. Let's see.
Delicious!
Delicious.
Would I ever say no?
I got salmon dip and Roger got a pulled pork sandwich. Well, in our room, we were greeted by a cute little towel character. Another memorable day in the books.